Whenever the topic of AI in schools comes up, the conversation almost always gets stuck on one big thing: cheating. But what if that's completely the wrong conversation to be having? Today, we're going to dive into what Khan Academy founder Sal Khan thinks about all this, and his vision is way more optimistic. He thinks AI could actually reinvent the classroom for the better. Let's get into it. So here's the number one fear for pretty much every parent and teacher out there. Is a tool like ChatGPT just going to do our kids' thinking for them? I mean, that's the big question hanging over education right now. Is this technology just a shortcut that's going to stop them from actually learning? And what's interesting is Sal Khan starts off by saying, yeah, he gets it. This isn't just some made-up panic. He totally acknowledges that these fears are 100% legitimate. It's a real challenge we have to face head-on before we can even start to see the good stuff. Okay, so to help us move past that fear, he proposes this really cool thought experiment. And to understand how AI could fit into the classroom of the future, he first asks us to just forget about technology for a minute. All right, just picture this. Your local school district, out of nowhere, finds $1 billion with a B, a massive, totally unexpected pile of cash. What's the absolute best way they could spend that money to completely change education for every single kid in the district? Well, the dream scenario, right? It would be to hire this army of amazing human teaching assistants for every classroom. They could give every student personalized, one-on-one help the second they get stuck. They could give teachers instant feedback on who's paying attention and who's falling behind. They could help dream up creative lessons that are actually tailored to what a student is into. And they could even make communication with parents way better. I mean, that would be a revolution, wouldn't it? And that right there is Khan's central point. That billion-dollar classroom doesn't have to just be a fantasy. He argues that AI is the tool that can basically become that personal teaching assistant, not just for a few kids in wealthy schools, but for every single student everywhere. It makes the dream a reality for everyone. Of course, this immediately brings up the next huge question. If AI can be this perfect, super patient teaching assistant, well, what happens to the human teacher? Do we still need them? And his answer is a resounding no way. Khan draws this very clear line in the sand. AI is fantastic at the what, the academic stuff. It can help a student figure out how to factor a polynomial or fix their grammar. But the human teacher, they are absolutely essential for the why and the how. They're the ones teaching conflict resolution, encouraging real communication, and helping kids navigate all the crazy social pressures they face. The AI is the academic safety net. The teacher is the one who unlocks their potential as a human being. So the main takeaway here is huge. As AI starts handling more of the routine mental work, those uniquely human skills, things like communication, accountability, empathy, just connecting with people, they don't just stay important, they become the most valuable things a person can have. And that's the teacher's domain. But it's not just about taking work off a teacher's plate. Khan argues that AI is going to completely transform the learning experience itself. It's going to make subjects that a lot of students find kind of dry or boring suddenly become incredibly engaging. And this is where the future starts to feel tangible and honestly really exciting. Imagine, instead of just reading a textbook, your class could actually interview an AI simulation of Abraham Lincoln. Or with augmented reality, a teacher could lead a magic school bus-style tour through the human body, or take the entire class on a field trip to walk through the streets of ancient Rome. It's all about shifting from just passively absorbing information to having an active, unforgettable experience. Okay, so for our final point, let's talk about how we should all be thinking about using these tools, whether it's for school or for work. The idea isn't to let the machine do everything for you. It's about completely changing how we approach our work. This quote really nails it. AI is an amplifier. So if your goal is to just cut corners and do the bare minimum, yeah, AI will help you do that. And your work will probably be pretty mediocre. But if your goal is to be really creative, to push the boundaries and do something amazing, AI will amplify that too. So the new expectation, the new workflow, is that AI is your partner for the first draft. It can do the tedious part, getting those initial ideas down or structuring an outline. But that's just the starting block. Your job, the human job, is to take that raw material and bring your creativity, your critical thinking, and your unique perspective to edit it, to shape it, and to turn it into something genuinely great. And get this, Sal Khan says when he uses AI to help him prep for a speech, he throws out about 99% of what it suggests. So he's not using it to write the speech for him. He's using it as a brainstorming partner that never gets tired, helping him figure out how to say his own ideas better. He uses this really powerful analogy. Think about a president like Barack Obama. He had a whole team of top-notch speechwriters, right? But the final words, the voice, the core message, that was all him. The team gave him drafts and ideas, but he was the ultimate editor, the ultimate author. AI gives every single one of us that kind of power. So we'll leave you with this question to chew on. If AI can finally free us from staring at a blank page, if it can take care of that first grueling part of creating something new, what does that unlock for you? What ambitious new projects are you now empowered to tackle? What will you create next?